Salutations friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is something that I've been wanting to do for a bit, and I wanted to wait until I knew exactly what I was going to be talking about. And it's going to be my favorite brushes video. Now, I have a lot of brushes to go through. Some I just got a few days ago, some I've had for a year or two. Some are super high-end, some are more affordable, but I wanted to touch base and tell you why I liked all these brushes, what I didn't like about these brushes, even if they are my favorite, and maybe help you guys out if you were looking to get some new brushes and you wanted some reviews on some. So let's get started. The first set of brushes I wanted to talk about, or the first two brushes I want to talk about, are from Lynette de Beaute, and you'll have to forgive me, I generally butcher the name. I got these from Neiman Marcus, and I was looking for some brushes. It was when I was looking for the Artiste brushes, and you know, I went into Neiman Marcus. They didn't have any, but they wanted to tell me about these brushes that came out recently. And if you're not familiar with Lynette de Beaute, again, I used to call it the Metier. They have a really high-end makeup. Their makeup is beautiful. The eyeshadows are blendable. I love their stuff. So I ended up trying some of the brushes. Now I got the foundation brush, and this is the blending brush that I use for my crease. These are made of goat hair brushes. I believe this one's goat hair and synthetic. I don't remember. But anyway, what I love about these brushes is they are so soft. They're so easy to use. I love this one in my crease. This really helps me define it really well. It blends everything up beautiful. It's nice and soft. I absolutely love it. So you can see it's a little bit dirty right now. I need to clean it. And this is the foundation brush. Now actually, I don't like using this one for foundation. I love using this one for bronzer. This is a really great application for loose bronzer. It really, if I'm doing a contour, it gives me a nice, like I said before in my other videos, I don't like a very chiseled look for my contour. I just like things to be a little bit defined. This is really good for defining it without going too intense with the sculpting chisel look, and it's also really good for cream contour, powder contour, or even liquid contour. So I really love this brush. So these two are in my collection and I use them all the time, and I really like them. I would say that these are more on the high-end side, considering both of these were about $65 to $70, but I do love them, and I am probably going to go get more from this collection. Alright, this next one I just added to my collection like a week ago, and it's the Mer Powder Brush. I love this. I keep touching it every time I used it. I've been using this for finishing powders. I've been using this for setting powders. It's just like I used it for blush one day. This is so nice. It's so soft. It's so dense. And it just applies product like a dream. I absolutely love this brush. I don't know. I know La Mer got rid of some of their skin color, and I think that they're actually coming out with more makeup. I don't know. I actually have been researching that and trying to figure it out, because I know when they do, my bank account's just going to go to zero because I'm going to buy everything. But I'm really glad I picked up this brush. If you're looking for a really soft, amazing powder brush that's going to give you an effortless look and a beautiful application, I would definitely recommend the La Mer Powder Brush. A brush that I actually got, I have two of these brushes actually. This is the Kashoen cleansing brush. Like I said before, I absolutely love Japanese brushes. Hakuhodo, Chikuhodo, Suku, and Kashoen are some of my favorite brushes. Now I have two of these. I have the Tatcha set, which is the cleansing brush, which comes with the lacquered bowl, and it's really beautiful, and I use it when I use my rice enzyme powder for a cleanser. But I actually noticed that this little brush is fantastic for cheek powder application. So I love to use this when I'm doing a really hard, easily unblendable blush. Like if you ever find a blush and you're just in love with a color and you swatch it and it's patchy and it's really hard to blend and you're like, oh, I guess I can't get it even though it's the most beautiful color, this brush will be your lifesaver. This can blend the most unblendable of products. I absolutely love it. It is kind of, the only problem I have with it, it is kind of hard to clean, but it is fantastic for, like I said, really unblendable, patchy, chalky products. It just does it like a dream. The other thing I really love about this is if you use this as a cleansing brush, it's really good for circulation. It's really good for deep cleaning your pores. It's really gentle if you have sensitive skin. So I do love to use this as a cleansing brush when I'm using the rice enzyme powder from Tatcha, but I have the Tatcha set, which is the same brush, only it's purple handle. And I do like to use this for when I'm, again, like hard to use blushes or even some hard to use bronzers. Sometimes it's also nice too if you're doing a cheek application and you kind of want to use a small brush. I know I usually prefer to use a large brush when I do things like that, but sometimes it's much better, depending on the look you're going for or the product you're using, to actually use a smaller brush. So if I'm going to do like a powder bronzer, a powder blush, or just like a powder application to try and kind of chisel everything, get everything more defined and buff out, this is a great buffer brush for that as well. These are my two brushes from Luxie. This is the 231, this is the small tapered blending brush, and this is the Luxie 522. This is the tapered highlighter. If you ever hear me talk about any of my previous videos about the tapered highlighter brush I use, this is it. I love these brushes. I love these brushes because I love how they feel. I love how they apply the application. I use this brush every day to blend my eyeshadow. If there's any little touch-up areas, if I need to add some more powder, if I missed it when I was like setting my powder and I need to do just little touch-ups, I love this brush for it. Again, this is my highlighting brush. I also use this for blush sometimes. I absolutely love this. So both of these brushes are amazing and I use them practically every day. And of course, I'm going to talk about this little beauty that's been in my collection for about a week right now, a little less than a week. But I did a whole video of it. I'll link it below. This is the Wayne Goss Airbrush. It took me a long time to figure out if I was going to include more than just this brush in this collection, but I really wanted to have a variety of my different brushes from different brands. So this is the only brush I'm going to be talking about from Wayne Goss, but I do have other ones of his that I absolutely love. And the thing is with this brush is the reason why this beat out the other Wayne Goss brushes is because this one is so utilitarian. This is an incredible brush. Again, I've already gushed about this in my video. I absolutely adore it. If you're unfamiliar with his brushes and you wanted to see if you liked Japanese brushes, this would be a great introduction to Japanese brushes just in general. It's made of blue squirrel, so it's really super soft. Again, this is amazing for highlighting. This is amazing for buffing. This is amazing for detail work. I absolutely love this brush. All right, so I talked about most of my favorite brushes right now. Now I'm going to talk about my top 2 favorite brushes, ones I absolutely can't live without. And the first one I'm going to talk about is this one from It Cosmetics. This is the Heavenly Luxe Airbrush Powder and Bronzer Brush. Now, if you have never felt It Cosmetic brushes before, they are the most soft, dense, amazing synthetic brushes out there. I love them. I have a whole bunch of them. They're all amazing, but like I said with the Wayne Goss brush, I was really trying to pick 1 or 2 brushes from each brand to let you know what I really loved about them. This is my everyday brush. I use this to set my foundation. Now when I do my makeup, especially in the summer, because again, Florida is so humid and hot, I put on a foundation, I wait like a minute or 2, and then I do two different setting powders. I go in with a drying powder. I'm using one from Etude House right now. I've also used RCMA, and I've used the one from Makeup Forever. And so I'll do a quick layer of that. I'll pat it in. And my face looks super white. It looks like this white because it's so, I put so much powder on my face. And then I go over it with a powder foundation. I either use my one from Makeup Forever, I use my one from Tarte. I have a powder foundation from Chanel I really love. And then I'll go in and I'll do swirls, and it'll add a little bit more color, a little bit more warmth to my face, and it super bulletproof sets my foundation. I'm telling you, I could swim in the ocean and my foundation would not move. Everything else would get all weird, but my foundation will not move. It's bulletproof. And I love this for that because I was using before a super flat-headed, and then the thing was then I'd have to switch to another brush to then do the swirl. And when I found this, I've had this for a few months now, this does both. This buffs beautifully, so I can pat in beautifully, and then it buffs everything amazing. This gives me a flawless finish, a poreless finish, and good lord do I have pores. This is an amazing brush. I absolutely love it. It's not too expensive. I think it's only $48, so it's not too bad. And I definitely recommend if you're looking for a really good synthetic brush, check out It Cosmetics. Their brushes are phenomenal. Dun, 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 dun. Now, this is, I talked about this all the time. This is my baby. This is obviously my Chikuhodo Z1 powder brush. Now I am considering buying, I have a few other from the Z series. I have the cheek brush, I have a few eyeshadow brushes, I absolutely love them. I'm considering getting the Z9, but part of me that loves makeup brushes really wants to get the P8. If you're unaware of that, it's the most expensive makeup brush I've ever seen in my life. It's like over $400, so I'm obviously not going to be getting it, but I just keep wanting to get it. So I'm obviously not getting it because that would be ridiculous and unnecessary. But this little guy, oh my gosh, it's incredible. The Z series from Chikuhodo is my favorite brush line. I love my Hakuhodo brushes. I love my Kashoen brushes. I love my Suku brushes. And I actually didn't include any Hakuhodo or Suku brushes in this because I wanted to have a nice variety of different brushes. So since I was talking about Chikuhodo and Kashoen and Wayne Goss, and I believe even Lynette, Beaute, or the Metier one, the first brushes I talked about, I'm so bad at pronouncing that name. Those are, I believe, also Japanese brushes. I didn't want to overload this list with too many Japanese brushes, so I was very careful about the ones I picked so that there would be a nice variety. But this brush is insane. I'm telling you right now, this is the softest brush. This is the most amazing brush. If you're looking for luxury brushes that are going to give you an amazing result, because I know there's some luxury brushes out there that are just not that good. You know, like the Chanel brushes I just used and I'm not a fan of, and I know that people are gonna skewer me alive, but I don't like Tom Ford brushes. I've used some of them and they're real, I mean, they're all right, but I mean, they've never blown my socks off. Not like Chikuhodo or not like Wayne Goss or even It Cosmetics, you know, like, I mean, I would never go out and buy one of his brushes. If someone gave me it or there was a really good deal on it, I think I'd go for it. I'd much rather spend more money and get something I know I'm really gonna love. So what I love about this brush is I use this specifically for my finishing powder. So generally when I put on my makeup, again, I said I go through my whole routine when it comes down to my foundation. Then I put on my bronzer and contour and blush and highlighter. Then I do my eyes and my lips and my brows, and then I fix everything with a fixing spray. And then I like to go over, like after like a few minutes after my fixing spray has set and fixed everything and it's dry, I like to go over with a finishing powder. And that gives me, because I'm very oily and because it's very, very humid in Florida, it kind of makes my face really matte, like super matte. But the thing is like after a few minutes, after I kind of like walk outside, my face, like it gets a little oily. And so the fixing powder just makes everything look seamless and beautiful. And so it's really like the end, it's like the cherry on top of my sundae is my fixing powder, and I take it very seriously. I use really nice expensive powders for it. I'll use inexpensive makeup for everything else, but my finishing powder is like, it has to be perfect. Otherwise, my face looks cakey or it looks powdery or it doesn't look good. Everything, the application, the right powder, even the timing. Like, I am very particular about how I do my makeup in the morning. I'm not a makeup artist, so some of you might be like, you don't do it like that, that's wrong. And you know what? You could be right, but for me, this is what works the best. So this has been my finishing powder brush, and I love it. I use this for the best application for this. This was made for Guerlain meteorites, the little pearl balls. I'm telling you, this picks up that product like a dream. It's soft enough to where it's not really like gouging at the balls or gouging at the powder, which is when I was using other brushes for it. Even like I've used the Guerlain meteorites when I tried it in the store, because when I was looking for the brush, I was like, this brush is only like 60 bucks. It's not a big deal. And then I'm using it and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't really like Guerlain brushes. Like it was too rough for me. Everyone's like, oh, it's super great and soft. I just don't like it. This is amazing. So this brush is super soft. It's super amazing. It puts on a beautiful layer of powder. It doesn't disturb my other makeup, and it's just super soft and it feels like a dream. I've also used this for blush and bronzer application. It's really good for that. It's also really good for highlighter too. So this is just a general overall like utilitarian brush. I just tend to have a lot of brushes, so I like to use them for different things, but this is my baby. This is my baby. So yeah, I absolutely love it. Anyway, those are my favorite brushes. Like I said, I kept a lot of my other brushes out of it. I didn't want to go too crazy. If you guys would like me to go through my entire brush collection, let me know below. I have a lot more. I'm kind of a makeup hoarder, and I hoard a lot of makeup brushes. If you have any questions on any of these brushes, or if you have any brushes you'd like to recommend, I always like trying out new brands, new things. Leave them below. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are all happy and healthy. Have a great day, month, year, whatever. If you enjoy my videos and my ramblings and my weird shaved head and my talking in this setup until I get things better, my low quality videos, and you know, the usual rambling, me selling myself so well that I do, subscribe. It's free and I'd love to have you guys. If not, doesn't matter. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Do you see this wiggle? I could just watch this forever. I'm not going to put this in the video.